Is Guild Wars 2 worth playing in 2025? Now, that's a video I did not expect to see coming from Zepla. She used to make a lot of Final Fantasy XIV videos. That's how I came to know her stuff, because I used to play the game way back in the day. And she kind of stopped making those videos. I don't know why. Maybe she took a break or something. And suddenly, she came up with this one about a month ago. So this was a very good surprise. I never really came to watch this video until now because I was so busy, but today's a good day and we're gonna give it a view. Let's watch it for ourselves, see what she has to say. By the way, I'll just remind you, I played Guild Wars 2 for 2 months. I enjoyed every single minute of it, but I couldn't really continue playing because I had too much stuff going on in my life, and also I'm not that huge of a fan of horizontal progression. I'm more of a vertical progression type of dude, but that's me. Like, the game, for what it was amazing.
Hey,
Truly
Buns,
incredible.
So much of y'all have asked what it's been like for me as a new Guild Wars 2 player in 2025. No!
Oh, she's not playing a warrior? What the hell? Is she playing a Mesmer?
After about 100
The one with the
hours
illusions,
in
right?
my Mesmer Sylvari, I've finished the core story. I finished Living World season.
It's so funny. I literally had to decide. I had like, I was down to, I think, 2 choices. No, 3. I wanted Guardian, I wanted Mesmer, and I wanted a warrior. So at the end of the day, I did like, basically, okay, what I want to play. Either warrior or I'm gonna go Mesmer. And then I looked at my screen and I went like, nah, I'm just gonna play warrior, right? I know what I'm about to pick, and, you know, the rest is history. I saw the Gunblade and I was just hooked, man. When you get like the highest profession, right, you get to choose between 3. So I really wanted the Gunblade. It looks so damn sick.
1, 2, and 3. We finished Heart of Thorns,
And it was
we're
good
about
too.
to start Path of Fire, and I can tell you the game is vast. I've never had so much fun getting lost and going insane at points. This is going to be my big brain dump of everything that I've loved.
It's always fun to find a game that had been existing for so long, but only now you discover it when you're older. It is such a great experience because the game was always there, but you didn't pay attention to it. And once you try it, when, you know, your mentality has changed for some reason, maybe you grew older or maybe something happened, and you try this game and you just fall in love. Man, it happened to me with multiple games, and it was such an experience every single time, because if you knew anything about me back in the day, I was your classic FPS, like shooter type Andy, right? Only play the video games that everyone plays and don't try anything else. So I was really anti turn-based games back in the day. And whenever I discovered that I love turn-based games, man, my mind was blown. I was open to a completely new world that I haven't tested before. And it's so funny for me to say, because this YouTube channel started on the foundation of Legends of Runeterra, which is a card game that has been, you know, rest in peace, but it is what it is. Still, it's kind of a funny thing to see. I mean, once you grow older, you start appreciating different stuff a lot more, and old games suddenly becomes relevant. And I love that. I love that there's something for everyone. That's the great thing about gaming, dude. It's the best thing in the world.
Loved, that I've struggled with, and why I'm so locked into this world. So if you're curious about trying Guild Wars 2 for the first time, or you just want to see a fresh pair of eyes on it, I got you. This is actually not my first rodeo. So when I first started Guild Wars 2 2.5 years ago, I started as a ranger, and it didn't stick. I ended up dropping the game, and I never made it past the base game. And
that's crazy. Okay, you know something funny? A lot of you are going to hate me for it. The same exact thing happened to me with Sekiro. It's such a weird thing to say because this is literally one of my all-time favorite games now, but it happened to me with Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. Because I never played a Souls-like game before. I never touched Dark Souls. I'm not really sure why. I just haven't played any of that. I knew the game was great and everyone was glazing it, right? Because, you know, it's Dark Souls. So whenever Sekiro came out, I bought it like fresh new, right? Everyone told me, like my friend that finished it, and he told me, bro, you gotta play it. It's the best Souls-like game in the world. You gotta try it out. And I was like, okay, maybe. And I kind of delayed until it won Game of the Year. And when it won Game of the Year, I was like, okay, you know what? I'll have to try it. So Like I bought it. No, wait. I think I just bought it fresh, and then it had one game of the year, and then I replayed it. My bad. My bad. I'm sorry. My mind isn't what it used to be. So I bought it when it was relatively new, and then I just got stuck, and I didn't understand a damn thing, because Souls-like game, if you haven't played them, they seem really odd at first, because if you played other single-player games, there is nothing like it on the market. I mean, before everyone started making Souls-like because of the success of From Software, but before that, there were no Souls-like, so they were the only one that were making these type of games. And whenever I played Sekiro, I did not understand what to do. I was so lost, and I ended up quitting for like 6 months. And then it won Game of the Year, and I was like, dude, you know what? I already paid for it, and I can't refund it. I tried to refund it on Steam, but I couldn't because I played it for too long. So I was like, you know what? Whatever, let's finish it, because I have this thing. Whenever I buy a game, even if it sucks, I either have to refund it or I have to play it to the fullest. Otherwise, I feel like I lost my money. It's something with my brain that is dysfunctional, but I have to do that. I don't know why it is, but that's the way I work. That's how I operate, okay? Like an absolute monkey. So I went into the game, I started completely from scratch, and my God, I was hooked. This game was so good that after I finished it, I purchased the entire Dark Souls franchise because I wanted to play everything that came before it. It was that good. And man, it just so good. It is so good. You know, I kind of went to ramble a bit, but I just think that it's such a funny story to see how your perspective can change in a matter of months. So it's crazy. I hated a game, and then I understood it, and I actually bothered to learn, and I loved it. Now, maybe the same thing happened to her with Guild Wars 2. I guess, let's just hear.
I think I just wasn't in the right mindset to really appreciate it.
Exactly.
I was kind of distracted, I was stressed, and I was kind of high strung at the time because I had a lot going on in my personal life.
Exactly, and these things matter because you need to be in the right mindset to play different type of games. Some games are way better to just sit back and chill and kind of do your thing, right? And some games you really need to invest yourself. MMORPGs, I feel like, are the most heavily invested game in terms of emotional investment, because you really need to be focused and be inside of the game and feel the world, feel the immersion, and really get into that escapism element. So you really need to invest yourself inside the game. While, let's say, a game like Counter-Strike, you don't really do that. You just kind of play to pass the time and, whatever, right? So you play for that dopamine rush, essentially. But MMOs aren't like that. They're an experience. And you need to be in the right mind to actually have fun inside of these games.
And this time around, I think starting over as a new Mesmer, Zeppelin
Mesmer looks so cool, though.
It just goes to show that sometimes all you really need is a fresh start. I remember the art style didn't click at first. I had to unlearn the habit of comparing it.
Bro, you played Final Fantasy 14. It looks like garbage. And I love Final Fantasy 14, but I have to be real, it looks crap. Guild Wars 2, the first thing I said about this game when I started playing it, and my God, I love the art. It's different, for sure, 100%. It may not be for everyone, I admit, but whenever I played it, bro, I looked at these, brush strokes. I don't know how to really call that, and it looked amazing. I really love this art style. It reminds me of so many Japanese paintings that I really like. So yeah, it looks good. Personally, for me, it just clicked the first moment I play. But hey, maybe it's not for everyone. It's definitely different, which I appreciate.
To other MMOs, and once I stopped doing that, I actually started to love this game. The more time I spent...
Again, it's just kind of funny for me that she came from Final Fantasy 14, a game that literally looks like it's a mobile game, and she kind of saying that's what makes me happy, because if she came from World of Warcraft, and I know she has a World of Warcraft background, but she played Final Fantasy for most of the time, but if she came strictly from World of Warcraft background, then I would understand, because it's completely different.
and interior, the more I start to notice and
And it
love
looks good.
little
WoW looks
artistic
good.
details that define it, like the loose brushstrokes, the
Oh, she said the same
patterns that are
thing.
so expressive. The game's art director said that they try to use color as a language in itself. And I remember once in Ore, I was exploring this like dark, gray, gloomy wasteland when all of a sudden I stumbled across this plateau that's just glowing with golden light. It really just stopped me in my tracks. There have been countless times since, especially going through Heart of Thorns, where I've been blown away by the beauty of this game, and it started to keep.
I will say that the fidelity and the graphics overall are kind of outdated at this point. Not to blame anyone, this game is over a decade old at this point. I mean, it is what it is. It's kind of nature of the beast, but it still holds, man. The stylized art still holds, and that's the good thing about them, because if you go for photorealism, eventually it's going to fade, well, until we hit a point where everything kind of looks like real life. But, you know, if you go for like HD textures and all that stuff, yeah, it's gonna fade eventually and it's gonna become outdated. But when you go for stylized art, and then it will last longer, for sure.
Feel like I'm playing in a huge painting. My friend has
Yep.
a legendary sword that has a spell effect that looks just like a brushstroke to me. Like it's
Yeah.
so iconic.
The sets in this game are phenomenal. I hope she's gonna show us a few examples. They're truly outstanding.
Guild Wars 2.
Wow, your sword's
Oh, yeah.
so cool.
Dude, look at it. That is sick. That is insane. That is crazy. Jesus, man, they truly insane. I also really like, by the way, the quality is from her end, like, it's not really that good. It's literally like 2040p or something. I don't know what the hell happened. But you can kind of see that the abilities themselves also look really, really cool.
As we're falling, it was like, yeah, it's so cool.
Yabbity yep.
Visuals aside, I think what got me hooked on the game more than anything is just how fun the classes are to play. And they're fun right out of the box. You know, you don't have to wait 50 levels to feel cool in the game. Like, you will get a vibe check in like 10 minutes or so. You'll be pressing fun buttons. And I really like trying out different kinds of weapons, like the underwater siren type spells.
So I don't know if she's going to explain it. I'm going to assume that none of you have watched Guild Wars 2 because I'm doing general commentary, like MMO commentary channel, right? So most of you probably came from Path of Exile, World of Warcraft, and ARPG MMO. So if you don't know Guild Wars 2, basically just a quick summary of how it works. Your class is essentially your class plus your weapon, if I remember correctly. And what it means that every single class in the game can equip all the weapon types. So you can play a warrior and have a goddamn gun. Now, it won't make any sense, but when you play the game, it actually functions and it works tremendously well. It's like, really, I was shocked. I did not expect to enjoy this much. So it means that if I'm playing a warrior and you're playing a necromancer, we can both use a gun, but you'll have a different set of 5 abilities, if I remember correctly, that correlates with necromancer plus gun, and I'll have abilities that are warrior plus gun. So we both have a gun and we both do stuff with it, but we do completely different things because I'm a warrior and you're a necromancer. And that's essentially how the entire game works. Also, there's underwater combat where you have special weapons for underwater. It's a whole new system, but she's gonna say what she thinks about it.
I have a great sword, but I use it like a wand, which is so weird. I shoot laser beams out of a sword,
Really?
and it's awesome. Like, what is this game? I've now unlocked my first elite spec, Virtuoso. Big thanks to Loranity for
But you're not playing a warrior with a gun. Oh, that's not good, Chief. No, you gotta change that.
teaching me how to play it with your videos. You're amazing.
I had the Gunblade Warrior. Man, that thing was so dope. You had to charge those shells and then you went like, boom! You just smacked everyone up. It was so damn fun. Man, I might come back to Guild Wars 2. I'm not gonna lie, dude. All of these videos really want me to go back to the game. Like, I swear to God, I'm feeling it.
You are a legend. I think I'm
It's been
still
a long
awkward
time,
with it,
though.
but it's kind of like Frost Mage and Rogue in WoW had a baby. Or like, what if Sage was a DPS? You know, I've got daggers floating over my head, but I'm a mage assassin. It's awesome. Now, some people warned me to not play a Mesmer as a new player because it can be confusing. But my advice is
Bruh.
do not listen to people's advice. Wait, so
Yeah. Whenever someone tells you something is confusing, like literally do not listen to them unless they're talking about Invoker from Dota 2. Nothing is confusing and everything in an MMORPG is easy to learn. These games aren't rocket science, okay? I'm sorry. I know some of you are like angry. Bro, like let's not go there. These games are not too difficult. They were always meant to be like available for anyone and fun. Yes, there are classes that are easier to get into and some classes are more difficult, but you can just learn everything, especially when you're talking to a seasoned MMORPG player. If this was her first MMO, yeah, sure, but come on, like, but it's Zepla. Like, let's not kid ourselves here.
Does that mean that you should listen to my advice? I am here for the butterflies, the clones.
You should play what makes you fun. You will learn.
Being a
you will
sussy
learn.
baka. You know, that's what Mesmer's about.
Being a
And
what?
also
Oh, Jesus. She
Bunny
said it.
Mancer on the beta, which is a spec that's coming up. And I mean, come on, it's a zappy lightning bunny class. That's so cool. Like, that's for me, obviously. So I'll make the Elementalist alt for that at some point before the expansion comes out.
Interesting.
At the end of this month, October 28th. There are two things that Guild Wars 2 does that are frankly best in class. Okay. Nobody
Say
can
mounts.
touch
She's gonna
ArenaNet
say
on
mounts,
these
100%.
things that they did 10 years ago. Okay, we got god tier mounts and open world. And these things are symbiotic. You know, the
Dude,
goodness of one amps up the
whenever like any video starts to glaze Guild Wars 2, I know they're gonna start with mounts. I just know. I remember I knew nothing about Guild Wars 2 mounts whenever I came into the game, and then I just got one and I was like, bro, why the hell any MMORPG doesn't copy them? Why aren't we copying this? Until World of Warcraft finally had, and it made it trash. Like, the mounts in WoW are way worse than Guild Wars 2. I have absolutely no idea how Blizzard managed to pull this off. All they need to do is literally copy their homework. But no, they failed to do even that. So, yeah, I mean, Guild Wars 2 mounts are sublime. They truly cracked the code.
other. So far, I have a raptor and a glider. And the raptor has a weight to it and a physics that you might not be used to in games. You know, he skids to a stop, he plops on a jump, he surges forward when you leap. Even when he sits down to rest, it feels like this living being that you've got to steer and get used to. But the mount is only half the story, because the other half is where you ride it, obviously. And I didn't realize until very far into the core game just how deceptively flat the zones are and can seem. I thought I had almost finished a map, and my chat's just like, oh, you sweet summer child. There are layers, there are tunnels, there are systems of caves that you don't even know about. You can't even see from where you're standing. Trying to describe zone maps now, I feel like the Charlie conspiracy meme. Look at those tunnels.
There are a lot of jumping puzzles in Guild Wars 2. I mean, I hope she mentions that. There's a ton of them, bro. And there's something at the end always, too. They were so much fun. I love jumping puzzles. They're so simple, but quite enjoyable.
Where the heck am I right now?
Literally. Do you know that Skyrim moment where you step out of a cave and you see the horizon spread out before you? And it's
look how
that
good
kind of
it
moment
is.
happens all the time. And also the cave is a jump puzzle.
It's crazy.
Really though, the jump puzzles were first to show me how dense the maps in the game are. One of them begins deep down in a cave, and we keep climbing up and like across the vines and rocks until it starts getting lighter and the sun shines through the leaves, and finally
good design
the
in my video
again.
game.
And I thought, damn, did they use half the map for this puzzle on its own? No, it's just that is not even half the map. It's a tiny bit of the map. And there's another one I did out in Ore that was just pure sadism, and it's not even the worst one. How can such a painful experience be a fond memory? It's this insanely long, complicated network of tunnels and catacombs.
The dude who do the jumping puzzle with her looks so goddamn dope. Holy, what is this set? Someone let me know in the comments right now.
With so many iffy jumps.
It's a guardian too.
Corridors. So it's not even just like it's a jump puzzle. It's also a super confusing labyrinth. We're like freaking swimming at one point to get to the next part underwater. I'm like, where the hell are we? It's a whole expedition. I thought this was just a jump puzzle. We finally emerge from the caves. Okay. I see the light of my mastery point in the choir, and the BGM started. I'm singing. They're like, oh.
I kind of wish it explained a little bit more. I mean, I understand everything that she's saying because I've played the game, but I feel like if you're gonna title a video "Is Guild Wars 2 worth playing in 2025?" you kind of need to make it, for everyone, but maybe it's just me. So I'll take the mental and explaining here. So basically, once you hit max level, she talked about mastery points, right? Well, once you hit max level, you have a thing that is called mastery points. It's those stuff you collect all throughout the game. You have millions of ways collecting them, millions of things you can do to get them. Jumping puzzles is just one of them, so that's basically it, if I remember correctly. If I make a little mistake there, don't kill me. It's been a while, boys.
Oh my god.
By the way, I just realized my camera is in the way of her. I hope that doesn't bother anyone. Wait, let me change that real quick. Let me just ploof myself over to the top. There we go. There we go. Now we can all have fun together. Halfway through the video.
Music could not be more appropriate.
Look at that mastery point glowing over there. It's so satisfying.
Could have prepared me for the open world of Heart of Thorns. It is horrible and amazing. It's a masterpiece, truly. It is an impenetrably dense jungle with so many layers, and it's so high up, and it's so far down. There's so much in between that you will get lost in. Like,
I didn't reach this far. I started Heart of Thorns
above the tree canopy, and I fell off the sky island. Like, I slipped, and I fell and fell and fell and fell so far, and then I landed on a branch, like, somewhere.
What in God's name is that?
And I wondered, like,
Jesus,
can I
man,
just
she's falling for like minutes.
fall down from here even more? And I did. And I even managed to land somewhere even farther down below. Like, the sheer immensity of scale. I have never had a game map that made me feel so small. Like,
I really wish I had flying mounts before I stopped playing. I really want to experience flying mount at least once. So maybe I'll come back into the game just to experience flying mounts. I'm not really sure. I'm trying to make up excuses because I kind of want to go back into the game.
a bug. And then with the glider, I started thinking about everything differently. I'm like, well, I have to go to that upper cliff and glide down from there to get where I need to go. Like, I'm doing geometry in my head, mapping out the trajectory. I did, however, die in an updraft straight away. Didn't know you have to unlock that first. ArenaNet devs are truly on another level, pun intended. People like to say verticality, but I did not know what that meant until I fell in a random crevasse, like after skydiving down at Mach 15, landing in a hidden village that led down into another cave. So, are open worlds ruined for me? Now, yes. I will always be comparing it to Guild Wars 2. Wait, I didn't even mention the meta
event system.
So
yeah.
I
knew it. Oh god.
Multiplayer open world adventures.
Yeah, I haven't pre-watched this, but I'm saying this on every video at this point, dude. I'm like so. You know what? Let me give myself a little pat on the back here, okay? I'm so goddamn good at predicting what all of these people are going to say in this video. And I mean, what can I do, man? When you've been gaming for this long, you just know. You know how the common man thinks, and a connoisseur such as myself at video games is just too good. What can I say, guys? What can I say?
With tons of other players around doing coordinated
It's a privilege.
Map assaults. So if you're ever wondering how Guild Wars 2 is doing in 2025, hop into one of those.
I really wish the quality was way better because, man, she's doing them a disservice right now because this game looks good, bro. And you can really tell because, you know, it's really just pixelated. You kind of have to collect all the dots here. But go watch a video about that. Like, your mind will be blown. I promise you. It's actually amazing.
And look, like it's thriving. There's a ton.
And I also love how all of these events just brings the community together. And it is so fun. The level doesn't matter, right? Because everything scales. So it's so good. And usually I'm against level scaling, and you can like go hard on me on that for sure, because I say it in every single video, and I kind of clown Blizzard for doing that at some time, and like private servers and all that stuff. But on specific events, it's okay. it is okay, and I'm completely fine with it. And it's more than okay. It's actually really beneficial. So it just depends on how you do that. Because I remember talking about Ascension WoW, which is a private server for World of Warcraft, that did level scaling while leveling. So basically, if you try to kill a wolf when you're like level 50, the wolf will jump from level 1 to like 45, right? And I thought that was stupid because it ruins the immersion and it just ruins everything. So that was my opinion, and a lot of people hated me for saying that, but I still believe that it's trash. But when you do events that are supposed to connect the community together, then yeah, I think level scaling is worth the sacrifice for sure.
Of people at all times of day doing
The
these
fun
things.
and the
There is one
enjoyment and the
zone
community,
where
definitely worth that
it
sacrifice.
feels like the boss takes up half the damn map all on his own. I cannot share anything.
World of Warcraft has it too! World of Warcraft! Nobody wants World of Warcraft bosses. They're trash! If Blizzard were a dinosaur, they would have been called a T-Rash. Because that's what they are. And their bosses just suck. And I hate the spawn timer, and I hate everything about Blizzard World bosses. They don't do them like Guild Wars 2, and don't try to clown me into thinking that they're on the same level. Because we both know that you're capping, and you should stop that.
Anything else about that though?
Because
I'm
I'm not eating it.
So, okay, so in terms of onboarding, there is no onboarding. I'm half joking. When I was leveling up from 1 to 80 in the core game, I spent a lot of time running around, doing the hearts, and I loved exploring, but I didn't realize that you can get a lot of XP from doing your adventure guide. I didn't know what that was till someone in chat told me about it. There's so many things the game assumes you know, but you don't. The game still keeps throwing crap at me that I don't understand, like into my bags. What am I supposed to do? I don't know what these things are for or what to do with them. Twitch chat told me about.
And that's kind of the thing about a game that has been going on strongly for over a decade at this point. There's so much content that has been accumulated throughout the years. Or accumulated, I'm not really sure what the right word for this is. But regardless, it's just kind of nature of the beast, right? I mean, it is what it is. I will say that the good thing about horizontal progression is that all of the content is still viable and you can do it at your own pace. So you don't have to rush anything. Everything is gonna stay relevant. And that's the best part, because you're not feeling like you're in a rush to complete anything. So that's really good. That's one of the strongest points, and it kind of evens out the, oh my god, I have so much things to do, right? I have so many stuff to do. So that is kind of great.
Salvaging, which helped.
It's not that bad.
They give you bags and bags and bags of loot. And when you open those bags, you know what's in it? More bags of loot. It's like
yeah, the crafting system is so complicated. It's what got me pretty much tired, like, of this certain parts of the game, for sure. Like, the crafting system it's not that difficult to grasp, but it's tiring, man. It is tiring. Because I did a little crafting.
In Matryoshka bags, I did not
usually love
understand
crafting.
the transmog points, like transmutation charges. I just use them like crazy, and then when I run out, that's a problem for future me, I guess. It is often true in games that as a new player, you need to get comfy with a certain level of, I don't know what's going on, so that you can just enjoy yourself without trying to figure every single thing out. And that is how I've been approaching it, and it is working. Over time, I'm absorbing things slowly, and it's okay if it takes a while. So the feel of combat is great.
I like that mentality. I used to be like that. I used to be, oh my god, I have to figure everything out on the spot. So I'll watch so many guides on how to do everything. So when I play a game, I'll be prepared. And like, no, that completely ruined my gameplay of so many video games in the past. And I just stopped doing that. Whenever I play a video game, I come to them blind. That's why whenever I started playing Path of Exile 2 about a month ago, a little bit over a month ago at this point, I came in blind, even though people told me, bro, you gotta watch some guides. Like, no way you're going into Path of Exile, even if you're playing PoE 2, which is vastly easier than, you know, the first one, because I played the first one for 30 minutes and I quit. I got overwhelmed. Like, the second game is still extremely difficult for someone who has little to no experience in ARPGs, such as myself. And I went into this game blind, and my god, I was hooked. It was so damn good. I made so many mistakes. I still do, because the game is super complicated. But I'm learning, man, and I'm enjoying every single minute of it. So this is such a great mentality to have. I'm so glad that she actually spoke about that.
Responsive. I love building up the combo points for a big hit on Virtuoso. Combat has definitely gotten harder since
Just shoot him with
Heart
your
of
gun
Thorns,
warrior.
But you know, I got my gear, I got my build set up. I've been practicing my rotation, so it's been really fun to play. You weapon swap, so you've got a fair amount of buttons, but not so many that it's mind melting. Though apparently it is like that on Elementalist, I've heard. I don't know, y'all can tell me in the comments. As for the worst combat experience, the turret stuff in core game was horrible. It was so tedious. And at one point, using a turret in a major fight, it was just so bad. Everything leads up to this moment. You get on a turret and you just press 11111, and that's it. It was, guys, y'all gotta fix this. It felt unfinished.
Yeah.
That said, knowing how to set up a build or
It's
what
an old
gear to
system,
get,
I guess.
I relied heavily on my guild, which you can join, by the way, and stream chat to understand this. It was really confusing. Like, what stats do I need? How do you activate the build? Where do you buy gear? Where is the auction house? What are gems for? What kind of weapon do I need? And without the help of the community, I would not figure this stuff out. Shout out to Muckluck, by the way, another great Guild Wars 2 YouTuber whose videos really helped me avoid a lot of those mistakes.
I watch this guy.
Honestly, considering the main pain points that I've had as a new player in combat, I've realized that they're mostly tied to the UI and the fact that I cannot customize.
She's gonna say the same thing that I did, that the UI is trash, and I know some of you hated me for saying that, but I'm still gonna say it. The UI is outdated and it needs to be completely overhauled. It doesn't look good. Guys, I love this game, you love this game, but we need to be real here. The UI is not up to par. Like, it is just, no. Like, no.
I've been told that I can download Blish
What?
UI to fix a lot of this, but I haven't been using it.
Bleach.
And I think it's part of the onboarding problem where I didn't know what a break bar was for the longest time. Chat explained that. There was a story boss where I had to get a color buff, like kill and add, run to the color, stand in the circle, do DPS, and repeat. But there was a lot that I was expected to read from tiny boon icons that are really hard to see. And I wish I could move and resize. I can't stream Guild Wars 2 on ultra wide, which is a tragedy because it's so beautiful, but I can't move UI elements centrally so they'd stay visible to viewers. I wish I could do that. The wardrobe screen is tragically tiny and not resizable. The adventure log being hidden, you know, that was a UI issue.
So many common things, like common issues too.
It's a UI issue. I was so confused when I unlocked mastery points too. Like, it's ready to train. And I'm like, okay, what's ready to train? What's a mastery point? My friends had to tell me where to click to find the hints. None of that was clear in game at all. The game performance has been rock solid for me though. Wow. Even with 1 million people on screen and all the spell effects,
Same
no
for
problem.
me.
They do not.
And even on my older PC, I rocked 60 frames per second because that's what my older PC could manage. And like, no problem. No problem. Everything was buttery smooth. My PC didn't even overheat, and it used to do that a lot back in the day. So it's kind of crazy. The game really runs smoothly,
Not
for
had
sure.
maintenance downtime either, which is incredible. Like, you just restart the game and your patch is good to go. That's it. It's wild. As for the story, I won't be spoiler here, but it has definitely been getting better and better and better. I have suffered some emotional damage in a good way. And people told me that the core game is like ARR from FF. And I'd say that's fair as a person who didn't mind AR.
It started off slow, but then it gets better. So I played only the base game and I finished it, and it was okay. But again, we kind of need to see the expansion and listen for ourselves, right?
I enjoyed the core game story.
Or see for ourselves, should I say.
Always was excited to find out what would happen next. I was really invested in Trahern's wild hunts, and I absolutely loved traversing ore. In some places, that's easy to imagine what it might have looked like in better times. There are so many lovable characters, like Ritlock. This guy is a legend. That's all I can say. Timey, she's one of my favorites. I also think the Heart of Thorns expansion reveal that happens in a patch story might have been the best expansion reveal of all time. They give you this incredibly hype cliffhanger story moment. And I was told that Guild Wars 2 players, when they played through this, had no idea that Heart of Thorns was an expansion that was coming, that any expansion was coming. And so you have this incredibly hype moment, a cliffhanger, and then you just see it on screen. Heart of Thorns. I cannot imagine how that must have felt.
Wow,
Oh my God. Even me
that's
knowing
I
it
didn't
was
know that.
coming, I still got a little fraction of the magic that some of y'all must have felt in that moment. I would say from a creative writing perspective, the narrative structure is pretty solid. You know, we have plot events that drive the plot momentum forward and make you want to see what happens next. I trust the writers. If a character gets hurt in battle, it's not something that's just forgotten. And if someone goes through trauma, that matters later. And things that happened long ago are built upon in the future. So I can actually trust the writers, and they respect their own world building, which is essential. I'm actually kind of shocked that I've been snoozing on this game for so long. Where I am now, which is content that came out 10 years ago,
Yep.
I can confidently say by now it feels like the developers had hit their stride by then and were dishing out quality by then.
And you feel so bad about essentially ignoring this game for this long, but you need to realize that you were a different person than who you are now. And that's exactly the same mentality that I have about older games, and that's why I try older games. I recently even tried Diablo 1, and my mind was blown. Like, it was such a revolutionary game for its time, and I made a video about it. You can check it from like 2 days ago. Really cool. I mean, the game was fantastic. Kind of short. I mean, I did expect it because game didn't used to be long, but wow, it was so good. It was so surprisingly good. So many of the mechanics were revolutionary for its time. My mind was blown, and it's fantastic because, again, I wasn't an ARPG player. You guys need to remember that. I never really played an ARPG until Path of Exile 2, which I started playing a month ago. So it's kind of crazy. I'm just discovering an entirely new world, and I'm about to try Grim Dawn, but it's kind of going off topic. So I'm gonna try all of these cool new ARPG games, and yeah, see for myself what everyone talked about all of these years. But it just feels so good discovering new games that were there all the time.
So I'm really looking forward to doing the other expansions. It helps that the open world is a masterpiece. That's a big part of it. Heart of Thorns feels like an adventure in the jungle, but the stakes are real. People are sleeping on the music in this game too. The ambient music all throughout the world is great.
The ambience was so good. I forgot to mention that in my previous video. It was so good. It was crazy.
Heart of Thorns has several tracks that
she's gonna compare it to Skyrim.
Guard. I'm like, dang, that's actually really nice.
Oh
my God, who can forget the beautiful song that plays at the end of the core game? I also want to say that the Guild Wars 2 community has made me feel
Never mind.
So welcome.
I will.
I really can't thank y'all enough for being so inviting.
Oh,
so
the quality is
kind,
good now.
So patient and so understanding while I bumble my way through and slowly pick things up bit by bit and then forget things and have to learn again. But y'all made this process so much fun, and all my best memories include so many of you porting me or turtling me out of trouble or into it in some cases. I hope to make a lot more memories in the game, and look forward to continuing to play. We do have a guild, like I mentioned, Only Buns Recruiting. So join our Discord if you want to know how to join it. I guess that's all I have to say for now, and I'll have more to say after I progress further. I'm going to do Path of Fire next, and some people are telling me that it's even better of Heart of Thorns, so
yep. And also people have told me back in, well, not told me, you know, stuff I read on Reddit, you should start from Path of Fire because you unlock mounts, right? I mean, the flying ones. So, I mean, just an FYI, right? People have told me that. I remember that. So it's kind of weird that people told her to start from Heart of Thorns, but I guess it is what it is. She had her fun.
Really looking forward to that. If you like this video, please consider supporting the channel on Patreon or on Twitch, where I stream several nights a week, or you can support the channel for free by leaving a comment.
Okay, seems like the end of the video. By the way, definitely go support her. I'm gonna leave a link in the description so you guys can watch this video. Give her a like and a sub if you haven't already. And wow, man, this was such a ride. It was so fantastic to watch all of this. I kind of wish it went into more detail, but that's why I'm here for, to explain you from my 2 months worth of experience at least. This game is amazing, man. I might go in again, but I have so many things going on. I just don't have the time. I'm playing so many games right now. It's just impossible for me because I have a real life job. Ooh, fun, right? But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. At the end of the day, I'll just spread myself too thin, and there are so many plates you can balance before some of them breaks, and I don't want to break anything. So I kind of just, I guess I will sit on this game for the time comes, maybe I'll jump into this game if you guys will want to watch that. But you know what? That's for the future. For now, we're doing only commentary on this channel. I've confused the YouTube algorithm enough. So yeah, I mean, wow, what a great video, man. I had a ton of fun watching it.